And welcome to SpinTV's coverage of the 2019 Kiss the Sky Open presented by Discmania. I'm joined here by Mike Carmen doing commentary, and we are in beautiful Aspen, Colorado for the 24th installment of this event. We have some great players to watch, a lot of Colorado locals, starting with Tyler Liebman. He's from Fort Collins, Colorado. We have Joe Rovere from Lafayette. We have Eagle McMahon from Boulder, Colorado. And J.C. Kester from Grand Junction, Colorado. So we get to see some of the best Colorado players here navigate this extreme course. And this is a hole to start on here. We've got the hole is actually called Kiss It Goodbye. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. This looks like quite the challenging hole.
Yeah, so we got J.C. Kester is going to rip one out. It is going to be right side into the woods more than likely. Really difficult to get close to the basket. You have that cliff off to the left-hand side that just makes the disc want to fall away. You've got to put it way out to the right in order to get any chance of landing on this green. And Tyler definitely lost that one. Anything over that cliff is considered OB, and you have two different drop zones that you can go to depending upon how far you went before down the hill. And you can see Joe is not happy with that shot at all.
Seems to be a tough lefty and righty hole.
Eagle left that low enough just over those trees that he might be okay. He just clipped the top of that. So now we have these guys playing from the drop zone. Not the easiest shot from the drop zone. You can leave yourself far enough away to give yourself a tricky putt, but you know.
We got some rain starting, some wind.
Yeah, we do. We definitely have some weather that moved in, and it got bad really fast out there. So these guys are going to get up underneath the basket and try to walk away with pars. Or bogeys for the majority of them that went out of bounds. It looked like Eagle had laid up from his previous spot and is going to take a bogey as well without going OB, which is something that can happen extremely easy on this hole. Tyler saves his 4.
Great putt.
And that's Joe cleaning up his 4 as well. Oh, no. That is not one you want to see slide out of the chains there, especially since this is one of the baskets that actually has 2 sets of chains.
Yeah. That's a basket you want to take advantage of, it seems to be on that.
Yeah,
on this
so
course.
On this hole, this is the par 5. This is one of the most demanding holes on the course because you actually have a very tight tunnel that you have to hit directly. A lot of people will play it out to the right and then go over the top of the trees with a thumber or a grenade to get to the second landing area. Tyler put it in good position, but even from there, it is a super tight gap going through through the woods.
Joe's playing wide right.
Yeah, Joe put himself where he wanted to. Eagle's doing the same thing. He's trying to go up on that hill so he can then play a shot over, but he did not execute that the way he wanted to, I don't think.
A little bit of a slip.
That's not bad.
Yeah, not a bad spot.
It was a good result.
So you can see this alley that you have to play down with a flick as Tyler's trying to make it up into that there's a big second ski slope opening that you really want to try to get to. Let's see if Joe can hit this with a thumber. And there it is. A really good shot out of Joe. That's going to put him in a good position. JC, the overhand expert here, is throwing a fantastic shot.
No coincidence you'll see JC throw a thumber.
Yeah. Now, Eagle's going grenade. Yeah, he's short, but he's in a good
gap.
spot. Yeah, he's in a good spot. This is what happens.
That just needs to sit down.
Yeah, that was not ideal. And here's Tyler from this next shot here, trying to get himself up and down.
He's going to try to fabricate a shot.
Yeah, we'll see where he's putting from.
So sick, Get in.
Oh, wow.
Wow, what a run.
Amazing shot by JC. Here Joe looking at an eagle attempt.
You know he's giving this a run.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
and he cans it.
What a fantastic eagle. Watch this thing going. I mean, he hit it as good as you can on the strong side.
Fantastic shot.
Eagle's going to fluff that just a little bit and should be able to get up and down from there. There we go. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't take much to get yourself in a really bad spot. And JC did what he could with that.
Just a bit high with that one.
Yeah, I mean, those are the two best baskets on the course.
on the
And
board,
unfortunate, he was just a little bit off.
Yep.
Oh, man. Screw that hole, dude. Joe just beat us by 4.
The guys are not too happy with that hole. It is just super demanding. So now we actually, after a huge hike uphill, we get to a hole that is positioned pretty good. I mean, for a backhand right-handed player, you can easily get there with a fairway driver. You just don't want to leave it to the left-hand side. Now, watch where Joe's disc ends up. He's going to go too far left and into the woods there. If you keep it to the right, you leave yourself out into the open for a good shot.
Yeah, he's going to have a tricky up shot from there, probably.
Eagle deciding to go with the flick puts it in a great spot, it looks like.
Come on, get out of there. I know.
Yeah, he knew it when he let go of it that it was going to be deep into there, and that is not the place you want to be playing the hole from.
I thought I had it. Get some lovings.
And he's just making the same mistake, you know, I mean, just leaving it a little bit left, but he put himself where he's going to have a look because it didn't fight into the woods there.
It was JC going with a lefty forehand.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't ideal again, but this hole is one of the easier holes to four, I feel like, because you can get yourself very out of position. Well, let's see. Joe's got a good putt here. He can still get his birdie. Ooh, just a little high.
Eagle connects with that one.
Yeah, really good putt out of Eagle. He took advantage of how long of a flick he has and how accurate he can be with it. And he's going to be the only one walking away with a birdie. So now we kind of change pace a little bit. This is a hole that's kind of a separator hole because some of the long iron throwers can get up on this hill, but most of your normal mere humans are going to be putting it to the top of that hill and then having the upshot where if you look at where Eagle is, he's inside the circle putting. That's like a 450-foot shot uphill, straight uphill.
You saw him put pretty much all he had into that.
Yeah, he put a move on it, but that is normal. Is now Joe's going to be left with about a 100-foot upshot. It's just Eagle is in another category of power.
This looks like
Tyler,
a great shot from Tyler.
Yeah, super smooth out of his hand.
Might look.
Just shy of Eagle's drive.
Yeah, put it way up there.
Here goes JC with his thumber.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Really good shot. He's up at the top of the hill with an overhand that's so hard to do.
He knows that that shot is going to put him right in the middle.
Yep.
And it's a simple up shot from there, and he gets his par and moves along.
Yeah, this is a par 4, so these are all, it's birdieing. These guys are birdieing. It's just when you look at where Eagle's shot went, it's such an easy eagle for him. It's a hyzer flight right up to the basket. Tyler with a really good opportunity for eagle as well.
So we have eagle taking the eagle.
Yeah, fortunate putt. You know, and you're going from what this hole is, which is a straight uphill hole, which is difficult to get the distance that you want to. Now you're going to a straight downhill hole in the middle of this ski slope where you've got to do angle control. And the discs do weird things out here in Colorado. Because of the high elevation, the discs automatically want to be stable. Yet, at the same time, you have this downhill slope that is, your disc is picking up speed, so it wants to flatten. So it's this really tricky equation of how to throw the right shot.
Too much hyzer from eagle there.
Yeah, that's not where you want to end up. You've got plenty of room out to the right. If you're going to miss, you really want to miss right. You don't want to miss left.
You can see Joe kind of making the correction off that.
And he put that right in a good spot, but I can guarantee that Joe wants to get there. You know, I mean, this is a hole that you can two. And that's a fantastic looking flight.
This looks wonderful.
And he's going deep.
He's gone way past the basket.
He went really deep. Yeah, this is already just a huge hole. But he threw that 900 feet.
This holds its turn.
It looks like it wants to come out.
No.
Oh, it's never coming out. This is where it's accelerating. And now it's coming back to the left. Now, he should be able to find this disc, and he has to play it from where he finds it and get to the basket.
At that point, he's hoping to get up and down for his bogey 4.
I'm gonna have to get out of here. I'm gonna throw and get out of here.
It looks like the group on the tee is driving into
Coming
eagle,
out.
so he wants to hurry up and move. And not ideal, but he's out into the open, so out of frustration, eagle is just, he wants to get off this hole.
Steps up and throws a shot.
Yep. Let's see if Joe can put it close. Walk away with an easy par. If you're out in the middle anywhere, you can get it close to this basket. The basket doesn't sit on quite the slope that the majority of the other holes do, so it's pretty easy to stick it pretty close.
I think we're at the point that rules don't apply. Yeah.
You can hear that wind in the background, just howling.
Yeah, he had a slight headwind.
That was a great putt.
And there's Joe with a point. As they said in the first segment, we saw a lot of those putts spit through and kick out, and Joe and the guys have decided to do a point system here on how many of them they can see spit out. Now, as you can see, the rest of the guys played out while JC was trying to find his disc and get himself around that big corner of trees where he could finish the hole.
Again,
Yeah,
almost
these
a spit out.
These baskets are crazy. So once again, now from the big downhill, we go back uphill, and this is a placement shot. You really want to be in that in the tunnel here where you see going into the basket. It's probably a 400-foot uphill shot to get in position to throw your second shot. So these guys have to rip something up this hill. If you're too far to the right, you do get pinched off, and it's tough. Now, Eagle puts this disc so far into that hillside, it's crazy.
That had to be his cloud breaker.
It was. And Joe got a little bit of air under it, but he is perfectly in the gap to be able to be looking at the basket. JC opting for the forehand, but he's going to end up on the road.
He's got good footing up there, at least.
that is one of the only benefits of being up there is good footing. And just a really good thumber line right into that gap.
Look at that shot.
Unbelievable.
That was an unreal.
I mean, you can see how tight that gap is. For him to slice that in there the way that he did is just insane. He's got so much accuracy with an overhand.
Another gorgeous shot.
It's fun watching these guys throw these shots. I mean, they are putting them on a rope right to the basket. So Eagle with a little pitch out. And he's out into the middle. He's going to have to make a putt. But you can see how close he was. Oh, boy.
Eagle having the furthest drive of the group, but the hardest upshot.
Yeah, it had to trickle down in behind those trees. It didn't look as bad as I thought there.
I think it picked up and rolled.
Yeah. JC hitting that dead center. He's not going to let one squeak right or left. Not after the putting that he's had. He's had some unfortunate breaks. So here we go with one of the temporary holes, and it is right on the hang gliding cliff. So if you do go long, it's very easy to get yourself into trouble going down that hillside because they cut it pristinely. So it's really, really fast.
Handle at 4 or 4:30.
Really short hole, though. I mean, it's about 200 feet or so, and you're just trying to throw a controlled putter and get it to land close to the basket.
Oh my lord, so good.
This is a birdie that the whole top card wants to get.
Yes, Tyler did not think that was good out of his hand, but it ended up really good. But absolutely, I mean, you put it down there and that grass is so thick that as long as you give it the distance, you're going to get close to the basket. JC with a backhand. That's looking really good. He's watching it. He's happy. All right, let's see what Eagle can do here. He's looked like he threw what is a grenade again.
Definitely a grenade.
Yeah, not too far from the basket. He's going to be circle's edge. Oh. Just to the right. Let's see if Joe just low. They call that the Aspen putt because the bottom drops out of the disc. And Tyler should not have any problem cleaning this up.
Dead center.
So he gets the birdie he didn't think he was going to get when he let go of the disc, but Eagle's going to clean up his par. Pretty routine, and you go from a slight downhill hole now back up a huge slope again. This is a double diamond ski slope. It's really tough to walk up.
Extreme elevation.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just shows you the terrain is so intense here. These guys are throwing full power up that hill, and that was a really good shot. You know, very demanding par 4. And this is where you have the separation of the big arm throwers compared to your average pro.
Yeah, they are just throwing full rips.
Yeah.
With a distance driver.
Yep. High speed and throwing it as far as they possibly can up that hill. And that was a good shot out of Joe, too. Those guys are going to have little putter up shots, but Eagle has his eyes set on this basket. He has destroyed that disc.
Unbelievable.
He went past the basket by 50 feet, probably. Hopefully closer, but he got into it. And now you've got the ultimate death putt coming back as you've gone long on this basket. And Tyler got way up there.
These guys are throwing great shots as well.
Yeah, here's Eagle's death putt back at the basket, and he has to lay it up.
He wants nothing to do with that.
Yeah, he doesn't have a choice. Discs have rolled all the way back down that slope. And just the hike back and forth is enough to want to kill you. So all four are going to clean up birdies, and they're going to walk to the next hole, which is now you're actually playing more of a wooded hole. So you've got to hit that gap. Yeah, you've got to hit that gap. You just want to be absolutely straight through there, and then it is a dog leg right uphill to this basket. Very reasonably easy par 4. The only problem is if you don't get out of the woods right away, you've got a really long second shot. So the goal is just to punch through. A lot of people will play the forehand right through the gap that Tyler just took. And he's going to have a routine upshot.
A little bit of tricky footing there, but
yeah, that was a good shot, though. He got a lot of distance on it. Wow.
Joe hits an early tree.
Yeah, that is the definition of first available.
That looked like a mid-range out of Eagle.
It could be his instinct, and from where he is, it's going to be extremely hard to access the basket. Yeah, the only thing you don't want to do is stay in the woods.
Right.
Eagle trying to chance at all to get to the basket.
Yeah, he was trying to throw a cut roller just to get himself in position to be able to salvage par. And you can see from where Tyler's drive is reasonably easy to get to the basket.
I mean, forehand, backhand. Seems to be if you make it out into the open, just a simple upshot.
Yeah, it looks like JC's going to have about 45 feet or so to the basket.
It was a good upshot from Eagle.
Yep. And Joe giving it a go, but he's going to leave himself close enough.
I think Joe and Eagle are going to be putting for their pars.
Gosh.
JC with a good putt.
Yeah, great putt by JC. Routine birdie, even though he was pinched off on the other side.
A little bit of frustration out of Joe.
Yeah, but it's not just him.
Yeah,
you know,
everybody
is dealing with the baskets the way that they are, and as frustrating as it is when you throw a good putt, everybody has to deal with the same thing. So now moving on to hole number 18, really routine par 3. If you're left on that path, you're okay. Really, the only trouble on the hole is if you yank it to the right a little bit or get stuck in the wrong spot behind those trees, that little group of trees that you see off the tee. Just a touch short. It looked like JC threw that lefty, which was strange.
That's his second lefty shot of this this back.
Yeah.
Dude, let's go.
And
He threw a lefty forehand approach shot.
yeah. And then Eagle puts it pretty close. I think that he threw that lefty as well. I don't think Joe wanted any part of that. He threw a traditional right-handed
Joe's going to stick with his
backhand
game
shot.
plan here.
Yeah. That was crazy. It took me a second to realize what Eagle did, but he did. He threw that lefty.
I feel like they talked about this before they stepped up to the tee.
Probably. And he converts. He didn't putt it lefty. But as grueling as this course is, and as tough of a walk, and as much as the baskets aren't favorable, you can't help but have a great time out here. These guys are going to clean up their pars. They're going to enjoy themselves for the night. And literally the venue and the scenery is just amazing. So that's going to wrap up the tournament coverage for round 1 of Kiss the Sky presented by Discmania. Mike, I want to say thanks for joining me.
Lots of good putts that round. Some spit outs. Hopefully next round of baskets will be a little bit more friendly for these guys.
Yeah, we can only hope so. You know, there's a bit of frustration out of these guys, but what a beautiful venue. If you miss a putt, look around and enjoy the mountains because it was gorgeous. So thank you to the tournament staff. Thank you to everyone to help put on this beautiful event, and we will see you for round 2 coverage.